you ever worried that you would be short growing up?
No.
No, it was never a concern for me either. I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, I knew people that were terrified that they were going to be short.
Yeah. Is that a really concern for women, though? Do women... I don't think women carry it as the same ways. I mean, a women are like, oh, I'm going to have tiny boobs.
Yeah.
You know, they're not like, I'm going to be short.
I guess for a guy, it's like, oh, I'm going to be short. I'm not going to be able to get a woman. And for a woman, it's like, I'm going to be short. I'm going to fit in all the clothes I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same fear.
Yeah, it's not at all. I'm going to be swept up by a man on a horse.
He'll definitely be able to carry me on our wedding night.
Yeah.
I think it's more like women are like, oh my God, I'm going to be so tall.
You're right in that mid-range of like being able to be swept up on a horse.
He's got to be strong. He's got to be like, I'm a little more solid than I look.
Yeah, I never thought about that except when I was like a teenager, when I realized that I wasn't short, and then I looked around and realized that I came from a short family, and it was like, oh my God, that was close. and it never dawned on me ever that I could possibly be short.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I don't know why I assumed bigness in my family. Probably because I have, like, everybody in my family has such big personalities compared to everybody around them.
Yeah, you would never know your mom's short.
No.
No way.
I thought she was the tallest woman on earth.
Yeah.
She might be one of the shortest non-midgets that exist.
Yeah.
just over not midget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember one family reunion just looking around like, holy shit, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
I am the tallest person here.
Yeah.
How did that even happen? How did I become the tallest person somewhere?
Yeah.
And it's also too because I had like cousins that were taller than me.
Yeah.
Too. And then I was taller than them. It just happened.
Yeah.
Overnight, it seemed like I suddenly became the tallest person in my family when I thought like I was going to be tall but shorter than some of those people.
Yeah.
But thank God I'm not shorter than some of those people.
But you have tall uncles, right?
From my dad's side.
Yeah.
Like,
but you don't go to those family reunions.
No. They didn't come to mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were too big. They were too. My family would have probably like attacked them with pitchforks or like, get out of here.
No, your mom.
Here, take a plate with you. That's potato salad. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what my family would have did. My dad's side of the family, there's some big people.
Yeah.
And clearly that's what
Helped
those
you.
are the latent genes that took over and like allowed me to not be a hobbit like the rest of my mom's family.
Yeah.
Like, thank goodness that happened. However that happened, thank goodness for it.
Yeah, you do have some short people on your
Goodness
mom's
gracious. Tiny. Some tiny folk.
Yeah.
I don't even have my phone with me.
Oh, don't worry. Would you like to talk about some of the topics I brought along?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, remember when we were talking about matriarchal, I still can't say the word.
Yeah. Matriarchal?
Matriarchal societies.
Yeah.
So I did a little research because I was curious about, ones that do exist, like how do they form? And, there were a couple that they talked about, but there was one that I enjoyed learning about. They're the Nagavisi. They're on an island near New Guinea.
Yeah, let's just first establish that she is likely not pronouncing any of this stuff right. Right? Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good start.
That might be the only word that I have to
These
pronounce.
are all bro pronunciations. By the way, pronunciation is a bro pronunciation of pronunciation. I just realized that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I'm not throwing stones in glass houses. We're in the same house. I'm throwing rocks at you in the house.
Still not a smart thing to do.
No, not a smart thing to do. I probably shouldn't be doing it, but
no.
We're in the same house.
So, in this society, food production is the basis of all wealth.
Yeah.
And women own the gardens. Women have, the land is passed down from woman to woman, and they own this plot of land. And they are the gardeners. And
I'm already terrified. I'm already terrified at the idea that women know that they have a stronghold on food source. I don't like that that's a culturally established thing. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's already a discomforting level of power. Let's see how this works.
So, one of their main foods is sweet potatoes. They grow a lot of sweet potatoes.
It's because women think they're cute now.
And they, you know, it's shameful if you have to ask somebody else for sweet potatoes. Like that's just not done in society.
Of course, because women are jealous of everything, of literally everything. You can go out and hang out with your boys, and your woman's jealous. You can go have sweet potatoes with your boys, and your woman.
Whose sweet potatoes are you eating?
My boy's sweet potatoes.
No, your boy doesn't have sweet potatoes. His wife has sweet potatoes. You eating her sweet potatoes?
See what I'm saying? You felt clearly you love this culture. Clearly you love this culture.
So the women garden and the men help out with the heavy work in the garden. You know, like if they need to like clear land or like move heavy things, like they'll be like, "Hey man, husband, come help me."
Yeah.
Do this. But like there was a little story about like there was one man that went to the garden every day with his wife to help her, and he was like ridiculed. People were like, "Dude, that's too much. Like, what are you in the garden with your wife for? You know, like you're only supposed to be helping with the heavy things."
Oh, he was like picking rose petals and shit?
Yeah, he was like seeding. I don't know. He was tinkering in and that's not acceptable.
You're doing little hand shit?
Yeah.
What you doing little hand shit for?
And if a couple fights, then the man stops eating from her coconut tree. So like we might
But
get
does he
mad.
eat her sweet potatoes?
Well, I don't know.
Is the coconut tree the top of all things? Is that the top? Is that like the pinnacle?
That's how you know people are really in a fight.
Yeah, if I stop eating from your coconut tree?
Like if you get mad at me, you might stop eating my coconuts. But if I get mad at you, I withhold my coconuts. Like, but if it like...
Okay.
But in order to make up from a coconut tree fight...
Yeah.
There has to be a gift of a pig. Usually...
I just can't say sorry?
You
can't... You have, like... So if I stop eating from your coconut tree, you have to give me a pig?
Usually the consolatory gift of pig comes from the woman.
So, but we're a couple. Or so you're going to procure a pig?
They didn't tell me how she got a pig.
Because you're just going to give me one of our pigs? That's ridiculous. We just trade pigs back and forth every time we're mad?
They're my pigs.
No, you do the garden. I do the pigs.
All
pigs
the
are
food
heavy.
The food is mine.
All the food?
You just help me lift the pigs.
I'm just like in there lifting pigs.
Move piggy over there.
Yeah, I guess I got to milk the pigs today. just drinking pig milk.
Yeah. So the signs of a good marriage in this culture are that we sleep in the same house together.
An empty coconut tree. Your coconut tree has a lot of coconuts on it. What's the deal with your marriage? Are you guys okay? I'm just asking. It's just a lot of coconuts. That's all I'm asking.
So we sleep in the same house. We walk around a lot together. And you work in my garden. Like, you help me with my garden.
Well, first of all, we got to live in the same house so I can throw rocks at you.
Yeah.
In the same house. I want to be in the same house. I don't want to be in separate houses throwing rocks at you. I want this. I feel more connected if we're in the same house.
Okay.
And then...
We have to walk around a lot together.
I think we walk around a lot together.
We walk places. Go some places.
Yeah, we traverse. We promenade.
Yeah. And then, you help me with my garden shit. Like, I can't have anybody else help me with my garden. That would be... You are my gardener.
That's a move. Like, that's a move that you wouldn't even make to show me that you're upset. Like, that's
maybe you might stop eating my coconuts if I had another man help me in the garden.
I'm definitely not eating your coconuts. Did he touch those fucking coconuts? did he touch them?
No, he just carried some dirt for me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can't. How about I go ask? You better not even say it. I don't know who you're gonna say. You better not say its fucking name. You better not say its fucking name. That sounds like a fun culture.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun culture for reality TV. Like,
right?
They should follow that culture around with a camera.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how that culture got down.
Yeah, like, so this was one of their quotes. The greatest big man of all is Ma. Shit, because only that can make you leave your woman bed on a cold, rainy night. I don't know what that accent is, but I felt like I had to. Can you
read that? Not like somebody who's appropriating Genghis Khan?
I can't because I feel like it doesn't quite make sense. I'll try though.
That didn't make sense.
The greatest big man of all is Ma.
Okay, so the man. Ma, the chick is the man.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Like, our chicks, they're the man.
Yeah, shit. Because only that can make you leave your warm bed on a cold, rainy night.
Okay, I got confused. Why'd you write this quote down?
It was a quote.
You knew neither one of us were going to understand this quote.
I thought you were going to explain it to me.
No, that quote made me retarded. I'm retarded now.
That's how the women did it. They're like, here's your quote. All the men are still trying to figure out this.
You can control the food? Yeah, they didn't know what the hell kind of quote they were accepting. Good Lord. By the way, I was just watching this little documentary. Do you know that there is a South Korean retarded slave trade?
Excuse me?
In South Korea, basically people, these farmers, they're salt farmers, seaweed farmers, because that type of farming is super laborious. It's really hard work, so nobody wants to do it. And if you can actually find an able-bodied, able-minded human being to do it, they're going to want way too much money. It's too expensive.
Okay.
So what they do is they basically they hook up with a recruiter, which is just a guy that goes to parks and kidnaps retarded South Koreans.
Oh man! Like, so if you have a South Korean, you got to keep a close eye on him.
For sure. Like, that's like, you have to absolutely monitor your retarded South Korean. And if he like goes to the place where they all hang out, like, you have to go hang out with them. And if he starts talking to like an able-bodied person, you got to get in between, like, no, stop talking.
Wow.
Like, it can't be anything more than like a hi or like, oh, that was so cool. You know, those are cool sweatpants. Like, it can't be anything more than just like a passing gesture of gratitude of some kind.
Yeah.
Or else like people, you know, get in between because again, they're not really kidnapping them per se. It's not like they're like throwing a hood over top of their head and like carting them off. They're saying, "Hey, big guy, you wanna come make some money?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Fuck yeah."
Do they look for like the Lennies of the world?
Basically, which, you know, like outside of that culture are a little harder to spot for me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm looking at them and I feel like for the most part, a retarded South Korean.
Are we supposed to be saying mentally challenged?
That sounds worse. I workshop that.
Yeah.
I workshopped everything.
Okay.
I think just like, I guess if it was North Korean, I think retarded would be a lot more acceptable just because we consider them the enemy.
Yeah.
But mentally challenged South Koreans, right? That has a weird sound to it. Mentally handicapped South Koreans. How
Differently abled?
Differently abled South Koreans
Mm-hmm.
either look really sad or really happy. Right? But like either or. It's like when you see them next to the other ones, you're like, oh, that person seems to fluctuate up and down. That's the normal South Korean. Mm-hmm. And then like the differently able South Koreans, they either like tragically sad or tragically happy. It's just wild. It's a wild thing.
I imagine that they're so I don't know too much about South Korean culture, but there's plenty of cultures out there that don't always treat differently abled people with like too much respect, you know, so that they're either a burden on a family or they're like a cherished miracle to the family.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if that difference comes from how that family embraced that human being.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, like a large percentage of the homeless people in South Korea are differently abled people.
Yeah.
You know, and then here's the thing. So, you know, like our differently abled people tend to have a look.
Yeah.
Like we can tell what they look like. We know who they are, right? But so one of the things that they kept saying, here we can solve that problem differently. Abled. But one of the things that they kept saying, because they kept interviewing the different farmers that had these differently abled people on their farm, and they kept saying like, I don't know, maybe we got some differently able people. I don't know, maybe we got some by mistake.
What are they like? Are all these farmers are villains?
Well, no, I mean they're just trying to make a living too.
Yeah.
I mean some of them seem like they might not be great people because only when you hear it from the retarded South Korean.
You're like, no, I tried.
I tried. But when you're hearing it from the retarded South Korean guy, you know they're talking about being beat on this farm.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that guy is evil.
Yeah.
Clearly evil, you know. But I don't know. I also don't like one guy was saying he was like just working for 6 years and never got paid, never even asked for pay. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, I don't
They're
know.
like, go get the salt, and he was like, oh, okay.
All right, and it's like, huh? So all right, still no for 6 years.
Yeah.
For 6 years. So it's yeah, I've been really getting into some cultural documentaries recently.
Okay.
It's kind of my thing right now.
Yeah.
No big deal. Just like I have to, you know, since the ability to travel the world has been taken from us, you know,
Yeah.
and like the hopes are slimmer. I'm just traveling the world via documentary right now.
Hey, you'll be ready. You'll be ready.
We're not going to any of these fucking places. You kidding me? We're avoiding these places for sure. I'm watching documentaries about all the places we for sure are not going to.
Do you have any places left outside of the U.S. that we're going to?
I don't know. Tokyo just got taken away from me a little bit.
What happened there?
They got a creepy teen idol thing culture going on over there.
We're kind of like out. We've aged out of that, right? Or you just don't want to be around it?
I don't know if American culture has aged out of fawning over.
I mean, me, you.
Oh yeah, I aged out of it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears came with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, you know, I couldn't be, you know, I've been aged out of that for a long time. But in that culture, like older dudes are into it. That's like you go to their concerts, and it's predominantly older dudes.
Really? Like
Yeah.
singing and dancing along? Do they love the music, or they're just there jerking off? Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like when a Japanese person jerks off. Maybe that's the YouTube series we need.
Yeah.
Like, what does it look like when you jerk off? I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese person jerk off. Like that's the one thing that not watching porn kind of derives you of. Like you don't get the.
Do you feel like it looks different on different cultures?
I don't know. I feel like Asian people or people in that part of the world, their cultures are so old that they all have these like really ridiculous, cool, efficient ways to do things. You ever like watch those videos of Chinese people like laying brick? Like there'll be like three people like in this, and like they're doing it with like this ridiculous efficiency where if they mess up a slight bit, somebody's hand's getting chopped off. You know what I mean? Or like the same thing with those like street food people that are just like, hup, 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 and it's like one little mistake, and now we're talking about like a 2-person homicide.
Yeah.
Right? That I imagine jerking off is something like that.
They have something sharp or hot or dangerous nearby. Like, oh, it feels so good. Woo!
Or just like you ever see like, you know, the videos of like, this is how fucking Asian people fold shirts. And you're like, oh my God, that's magic. So I would imagine that it's just like one jerk. It's like somehow just like one jerk. And it's like explosion.
I was imagining it. You know how it's the they have the guy that's like giving the person the ice cream, and they keep not giving him the ice cream cone. It's like they're doing that, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I lost it."
Why in your mind when Japanese people jerk off is it such a blunder of events?
I don't know.
Why are they all Mr. Bean? They're all like the Japanese Mr. Beans to you.
Yeah, like when they get to that, because they're also like serious all the time and like professional.
Yeah.
And so like when the clothes come off, they're just like, it's sticky and slippery. I don't know.
You think it's the opposite? Like I think that because they have such an old culture that when it comes to things like that, they probably do things hyper efficiently. You're like, no, they get out there, it's retarded party time.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
because that's gonna come out at some point for everybody, right? That's in everybody.
yeah. What do you think is American retarded party time?
24/7.
It's 24/7 retarded party people.
Yeah.
That is what we are.
Yeah.
That's why all the cultures want to be like us.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's one of the things that is admirable in any grouping of people. Like the ability to just like let go, throw caution to the wind, not care about consequences, just do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
That's why we have such an admiration in our culture for like redneck cultures, ghetto cultures.
Yeah.
We're like, man, those people are fucking living, man.
Yeah.
Those are the people.
Yeah.
Get them on TV. As soon as possible, get them on TV.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that's us.
Oh.
That's us. We're 24/7 retarded party people in this country. Good Lord. Could you imagine what it was like being outside of this country, watching like the riots and protests from outside of this country, where like they're burning down buildings by night, and then during the day they're having like twerk contests and shit. That must have been so mind blowing to see that as a different culture.
Yeah.
You know, like I would imagine that when the South Africans were rebelling against apartheid, there probably weren't too many twerk contests.
Who were there twerk contests?
You didn't see this?
No.
It was all across the nation. There were like people like twerking at cops, getting naked, twerking at cops. It was like a big. You missed that?
Yes.
Man, I can't believe that. I thought you were on top of twerking news in this country.
No.
Yeah, it was a big thing. That was a big thing, and it was like it's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd. I don't know if it's one of those, you know, like it's honestly it's something that can only be done in this country.
It was like their version of like putting the flour in the gun.
Yes. Yeah, they were putting their ass crack on the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody was trying to create that viral moment of that, but that's something that could only happen here.
Yeah.
No other country's tolerating that shit.
No.
Like you twerk at somebody else in another country. Every other country, if you twerk at somebody, that is assault.
You got a second butthole.
Yeah. That's at least a sign of disrespect. Not the 24/7 retarded party people.
No, that's just
Every
just
time it happened,
statement.
those cops were like tapping their toes. They're just like, man, this shit can really twerk.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's you know, those are the Japanese people are just into teen idols.
Oh, so we can't go there.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess it's like I'm just like just worry about our girls. I don't want our girls seeing that. I don't want our girls seeing like how famous they can be for being little like, you know, teenage bad burritos. And they're not even bad burritos completely because Japanese culture is so different than ours.
Right. They're like little dolls. They're just like dee, 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 dee.
Basically, and they're just all dressed in uniforms.
Yeah.
It's just all uniform shit.
Yeah.
You know, like not necessarily cheerleader, but like schoolgirl, French maid, flight attendant.
Yeah.
You know, it's
very fetishy.
It's a very fetishy. Yes, it's very fetishy. You know, where here in America, you know, since we're 24/7 retarded party people, we're so on the edge of like absolute debauchery at all times that we draw weird lines.
Well, old men like going to young teenage concerts is I guess that is a weird line, but stop enjoying her music.
Yeah, right.
Creepy old man.
It is. It's a weird line that we have here, but it's like
we need it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the teen idol thing is all about anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the worship of like, you know, like think something you can't have.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, there's something, what am I trying to say? Other word that comes to me. There's forbidden. There's something forbidden about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the forbiddenness of it is what makes it exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's just how I feel. What else you got? You got some more here?
Well, I was learning about. Do you hear about you know, when an executioner cuts off a head?
I've heard about that.
There's a lot of there's been some science and some study about like how long are there brain waves in the brain and how long can the face, you know, how much, like, not that they're calling it like living or consciousness but like, you know,
so are they going to put like rules on when we can start like cheering now?
Well,
like, you can't cheer for 8 seconds because the head is technically still alive and that's insensitive. So we're gonna have. Well,
this all came from. Well, like part of this all comes from
head transplants.
France.
We want to do head transplants.
Well, they thought about that. Yeah,
okay. That
was like one thing. But there was a lady named Charlotte Corday who got her head chopped off by guillotine, and after she got chopped off, the executioner lifted her head up and smacked her on the face, on each cheek.
Yeah.
And they said that her face turned into a look of disgust, and her cheeks reddened, like she blushed.
Yeah.
And people claim to have seen this.
So they think that the headless lady was embarrassed.
No, that she was mad.
She was like,
smacked.
like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and
okay.
like, yeah, and there has been a science study that's shown that there's delta brainwaves that
It would be funny if it was like, you know how like in those old movies, like every time a woman was like getting crazy, like she would be smacked twice and then fall in love with the guy.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it was that. If he like smacked her twice and she was like, like she just started making puppy dog eyes at him, start sucking his dick. You know?
Look at what's happening.
Like, oh my goodness gracious! Oh, and people were like watching it, like, is he or is she? Like, how long does the head stay alive? It's like, we really need to get a number on this. Man,
They say that.
so you would technically still have to get consent for 8 seconds. Oh, that got morbid weird. All right, go ahead, get me out of this.
Because they said that Anne Boleyn, when she got her head cut off, like she tried to talk afterwards, and she got really screwed over by.
I was about to say, yeah, because she probably had a whole plethora of fuck yous she didn't give.
Yeah.
You know?
She didn't get to
Like,
give any of them.
damn, she had so many fuck yous to give that her neurons were still giving fuck yous.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't need anything from the neck down to say fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. Man, that's the kind of that's the kind of shit I love to hear about women. Like, there's some, I can't think of any right now because right now that just trumped every cool story that I ever heard about a woman. And of course, I'm making it truer in my mind than the legend.
Yeah.
Because the legend is like, this may or may not, but I'm like, nah, that should happen.
Yeah.
That should happen. And but like I like stuff like that. It's like when women like take that place, that mantle of like a freedom fighter, or like just like fighting for something big, and they have like people rallying behind them, and that kind of elevates whatever, like a person. Like Genghis Khan was for sure elevated by the people that admired and followed him as much as by the fact that he conquered so many people, right? Like both those things elevated his confidence, and like women get elevated to a ridiculous status, and because it really matters to them how people think of them, what people think of them. So when a woman is able to convince herself that people see her in this really high, I don't know, this really high esteem, or like almost godlike, like goddess-like.
Yeah.
Then she becomes goddess-like.
Yeah.
So it's like I have no doubt in my mind that her severed head probably did have a lot of fuck yous to give. You know what I mean? Like, I have no doubt about that. And it's like there's an energy that people seem to be imbued with when they reach that level.
Like
of
Joan of
something.
Arc, she was like, burn me, I got this.
Dude. And like I don't know if I heard this, but like maybe I heard this, like she didn't even scream or some shit.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's part of her legend, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And it's not because she didn't scream because she was so tough. She didn't scream because fuck you, that's why I'm not screaming. Dude, women, when they reach that status, they have the best fuck you death. Like, they are the best at it. Like, the most admirable, like in that show Vikings that we watched.
Yeah.
Like, every like, when a woman dies pissed off, she dies a Viking death.
Yeah.
Like every time a woman dies angry, she dies a Viking death.
Uh-huh.
It's I'm very impressed
with women death.
With like angry women death. One of the most impressive things, which is why I can get behind something like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Right? I love the idea. It's not even that I like the idea of Wonder Woman. I like the idea of the culture that she comes from.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she comes from the Amazonian women, and to me, all Amazonian women die Viking deaths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're the shit while they're alive.
Maybe there wasn't enough scorn in that movie. Like,
in Wonder Woman 84? Yeah.
We've lost the beauty of the woman, the scorned woman.
Yeah, no, and there was a lot of room for scorn.
Yeah, because this is all about her lover being killed, taken from her. Like, the one thing in the world that she had was taken from her. And like, she's got to give herself to the world forever and ever.
Yeah.
And like, she had no scorn.
Oh, she should have had a lot of fuck yous to give.
That is what that movie was missing.
Completely empty of fuck yous, and that's not what we want from our warrior queens.
No.
We want them filled to the brim with fuck yous.
Yeah, like, I mean, she could have Yeah, like you said, there was a lot of talking at the end. She could have gotten to that point, but she needed to get her fuck yous out before she got there.
Yeah, we can get into that some more. Because again, what I say about the movie is, again, because I feel like one of the things that these movies are doing is they're making these superheroes they're more accessible, they're more human. You know, they're humanizing these things. And yes, she could have had more score. She could have been filled to the brim with fuck yous, and we could see her titties. Like, we're allowed to see Wonder Woman's titties. It's not
Get
sexual.
off of her titties.
But it's not sexual to see Wonder Woman's titties. That's all I'm saying.
You're like, she is an Amazonian woman. I want the titties.
There's not going to be some titties out. It's like, for her, it's a show of confidence. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's like I don't give a shit about your culture. My titties are out right now. Enjoy your coffee. Get back to work, everybody.
But Wonder Woman's titties were never out like that.
Well, again, it's like I'm not necessarily saying that like Wonder Woman has to have her titties out, but again, a situation happens where
it's not going to make it better.
A building collapses that she's in, and she has to like walk. And now she's scorned too because all of the people in the building she loved, and she couldn't save them all at the same time as the building was collapsing. And she didn't have time to change to her Wonder Woman outfit. The villain is still outside because he crumbled the building from the outside. And he's like, now what the fuck do you want? You're like, I found out where you live, Wonder Woman. I found out your secret identity. And then she comes out of that building with her clothes a tatter and her titties out and dirty. Dirty titties. I'm talking about dirty titties.
All right, I can't be. If you wanted dirty titties from your Wonder Woman movie, I'm not gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, all I'm saying is it wouldn't be gratuitous, and I think it would be. Listen, I just think they're missing out on a great opportunity to put titties in a movie, in a way that will make people go yas. I don't know.
Oh, I feel like what I was missing, like the first 10 minutes of that movie, I was like, I want to be Wonder Woman, Like the whole rest of the movie, like, yeah, I want to be her to wear her like day clothes and stuff, but like, I wasn't like, oh, I want to be Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Most of that movie was her at work.
Yeah.
It was just like, she's just doing a job now. It's like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing here? This is insane. Yeah, no, I still stand by the fact that like when the anytime the soundtrack was on the movie, like there was music in the movie, the dialogue was good, and anytime there was no music, the dialogue sucked.
But if there would have been titties, you would have been happy.
Titties and music.
Hell, you still need music.
That movie was boring without the music. It sucked. Every time the music, and then the action scenes weren't necessarily the best. Again, as a movie overall, it was entertaining, I guess. 2.5 hours is long.
I watched it all.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about the movie is so polarizing in the zeitgeist right now that we couldn't not do an extemporaneous Wonder Woman review in the middle of talking about how awesome it is when women die. When women die.
I've got a fun fact for you about when men die.
Oh.
When you hang a man, he gets a hangman boner.
Yeah.
He just bones up.
No, I think it's still like that last 8 seconds. He's just like, anybody want
Is there a severed head anywhere? Come on.
I mean, like, come on. It's like one of those things where it's like, all right, you fuckers are killing me. I'm not going to not sexually harass all of you right now. That's his last fuck you. Every woman is filled to the brim with fuck yous. Every man is filled to the brim with I want to fuck you. We're just 24/7 retarded party people here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. I think I'm going to actually have this be a regular episode.
Okay.
This shit is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out our Patreon, by the way. We have a good time there, too.
Yes.
Come love us. Come love, live, laugh with us. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what you also had, the Hangman's Boner?
Yeah. That's what I got for you. Yeah.
Where you're like, man, we're probably going to talk about this forever. Man. Wait, did you hear about, I think it's in Virginia, there is a courtroom where a white judge, I said the white judge, but he's a white judge. He has decided that there will no longer be any pictures of white judges in the courtroom, especially if the defendant's black. Because having all these white judges preside over the pictures, be in pictures, makes black people come into the courtroom and be like, I'm not going to get a fair trial though. All these white people looking at me.
Does he have something to replace the pictures with, or he's just like no pictures?
No pictures of white judges.
Are there any pictures left in the courtroom?
I don't think so. I think there might have been two black judges.
Yeah.
You know. Also, he's now going to do all his cases in blackface.
That's only fair. Gotta make people
I just
comfortable.
don't want him to.
White people are gonna find any reason.
Yeah, I just want to know he's getting a fair trial.
What if white people banded together and we all decided we were gonna do blackface to make everybody feel comfortable?
I think that's what's happening. I think like the back door of all of this is that we're trying to be a culture where we have both segregation and blackface, right? Because they're like, listen, when we did it the first time, we just didn't have our heart in the right places.
Yeah.
You know? We're different people now.
We're gonna do it for the potty.
This is 24/7 retarded party people blackface.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is 24/7 retarded party people segregation.
It's for everybody.
Because that's what it's, yeah. Well, I mean,
Kinda.
on your side of the tracks. It's for everybody over there. This is for everybody over here. That's what it's going to come down to eventually. You know, at least that's where it's heading. Is it's like, okay, well, no white judges will preside over a case involving a black defendant.
Right.
I mean, that's what's happened. It's going to be black court, white court,
Yeah.
Hispanic court, Indigenous Peoples Court.
They sound like great TV shows.
Do Indigenous Peoples Court?
Yeah.
Hong Kong. Yeah, I would watch Indigenous Peoples Court. It sounds pretty sick. Most of the cases are over like cases of firewater. I don't know much about Indigenous people. Yeah. Oh man, I know we got some listeners that are Indigenous people that might not take too kindly to that. I just realized that, but
Yeah.
Listen, our Indigenous people, I tried. Yeah, we don't knock them all out of the park. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. That's just the way the world works. I would love to nail it every single time, but sometimes, you know, some Indigenous people are going to have to pay the price for a joke well tried. Ah, man. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a 24/7 retarded party person over here. Yeah, what else has been on your mind lately? What else have we been talking about? What is the world? What can we put together? Because we know the world is constantly trying to tear us apart.
We just had magical Christmas time. You know, like the magic of Christmas in your kids' eyes. Like
Yeah.
I can't get over. I don't know. I can't get over. They keep being like, "Mom, I wanted blah 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 for Christmas, and I got it." And I'm just like, "Yeah, you did." You know, and it's like,
I like seeing how that is like a universal good feeling. Like you feel that as a good feeling, and you didn't even grow up in like a chaotic environment.
yeah,
You know, and you still appreciate that at a high level. And I appreciate, like, I'm like over here looking at you appreciate that, and I appreciate that you have that appreciation.
yeah,
You know, because
Yeah.
I do, but like I came from such a very different experience with Christmases.
yeah,
You know, so you know that's neat.
yeah,
That's neat to see.
yeah.
Man, we're such an appreciative couple. God, we're good. We're good at
Yeah.
this.
Appreciating things.
Good Lord. And talk a little bit about the magic of Christmas Eve. Boy, was that a magical experience.
Your little.
In Target.
Oh.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was the best. So listen, listener, if you had to guess, you go into Target, it's Christmas Eve, and there's last minute Christmas Eve shopping. You go into a Target, what do you expect to see? When I say what do you expect to see, like what do the people look like? What are the ethnicities? What are most of their ethnicities? I mean, our Target, when we go to Target, I wouldn't say we live in a black neighborhood.
No.
Our Target is a white Target.
Yeah.
For the
We've
most,
had some diversity at our Target.
there's some diversity working at our Target, but for the most part, I would put it this way. I feel like there's more diversity at our Whole Foods than our Target.
I don't know.
Also, you don't shop. Just agree with me.
I go to Target.
When do you go to Target?
I've been to Target recently,
When was the last time you've been to Target?
right before Christmas.
What was it? What was the ethnic makeup of it?
There was multi races at our Target.
I only see POCs. So, yeah.
I mean, the white majority of people are white
You talking about like in the country?
in the Target.
Yeah. Well, not on this day. This Christmas Eve, it was 100% black.
It wasn't even like haggled mothers, huh?
No, it was just like, I wasn't even going to get that motherfucker a gift. It was, I will say this, like I mean, I know you clearly don't want to talk about this, but it was funny to me that like all of the women in there looked so like frustrated and upset and impatient, and all of the dudes in there seemed to be laughing at the fact that it was only black people in Target. It was like we all were noticing it. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know? It was just like everywhere you turned, it was just all black people. It was just, yeah. Like I turned and it was like, you know, all the haircuts. I saw all the black haircuts in Target. How about that? Have you ever? When was the last time you've been to Target and you saw all the black haircuts?
I don't stare at black people in Target.
Are you saying you have to stare at black people to be able to differentiate their haircuts? Is that what you're saying, Ellie? Because I noticed it at glances. And
did you think you might be in a magical Christmas movie and like you were gonna leave and like everyone was just gonna be black forever?
Wow. I did not think that. I wonder what kind of magical Christmas that would be. Like, who was that magic for?
That was Hallmark's biggest Christmas movie this year.
Yeah?
Everybody turned black.
Are you serious?
No.
Man, you could have had me going for the rest of this podcast. You could have just spent the rest of this podcast telling me what the movie was like and how it happened. You know, you could have just like picked parts from whatever movie you wanted to and compiled together that Hallmark movie.
Then all of the restaurants became fried chicken restaurants.
Was it I'm Dreaming of a Black Christmas? Is that what it is? Good Lord. Could you imagine that? Man, everyone would have COVID. Oh no! That would be how the government tries to actually get rid of black people. That was like some weird science experiment where it was like some Twilight Zone episode. I don't know. I was trying to make too much sense.
You took my Hallmark Christmas movie and made it Twilight.
Yeah, no, that would be a hilarious movie. Well, if it was meant to be funny. Because like if they made that movie now, it would be like way too serious. You know what I mean?
Would it get all heart touching and stuff?
I feel like it would be one of those things where once that was realized, like the world would be better. You know what I mean? Like we'd have flying cars, first of all.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be white people holding us back from making flying cars.
Little kid would get a science kit and he'd be like, "I can do it, mommy."
Yes, you can, and there's nobody to hold you down, son. Nothing's going to stop you from doing this math. Yeah. What else?
All the teachers on Zoom would be like, "I see you, Johnny." He'd be like, "Mommy."
And first of all, I don't even know why this is coming to my mind, but like everybody in the WNBA would be able to dunk.
No, still no.
We should still lower the rim. We should still lower the rim. It just makes no sense. I mean, oh my God. If I ever make a movie, that's going to be like a throwaway part of the movie where it's just like, I don't understand why they don't lower the rim in the WNBA. Now continue with this documentary about the Dalai Lama. Oh man.
Oh, you'd have a black Dalai Lama?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama as a black man. I think I think he'd ask the philosophical question. Oh my God. Where the hose at? Just like, and that's like, we'll be all breaking that down for the rest of our lives. Like, where the hose at? It's like, I just understood it so differently when I was young. Like, now that I'm older, like, where the hose at? It just means so much more to me. I used to think it was about hose. It's not. It was about me the whole entire time. Where am I at? Where am I at? So yeah. What else, man? I think we're good. I don't know how much time it took me to find my phone.
Mm.
You know, I'm gonna make sure we make up for that time. It's yeah. What else? Oh, well, you know about hyenas? What you know about? What you know about hyenas?
With they're really black.
See, and that's one of the things that people know about them, right? So let's talk about some of the misconceptions about hyenas. It's funny. I was watching a documentary about hyenas, and it was just like it just kept like doing little references about how one of the reasons they're so stigmatized is because of the Lion King.
Oh.
They were so pissed. They were
Really?
so pissed. Yeah.
Like, this isn't really how hyenas
Yeah, it's
are.
like that's not how fucking they're good.
They don't follow like a evil king lion.
No, you
and
know what I
march
mean?
around.
Like a
Really?
gay king lion. Yeah, it was like so one of the things that is I mean I think I only know one thing about them, but one of the cool things about hyenas is that they control disease because they eat so much of they scavenge first of all.
Yeah.
So they ensure that there are not like rotten carcasses laying around because they strip it to the bone.
Yeah.
You know.
Important.
So yeah, that's very important. So, you know,
They like don't eat places into wastelands. Is
no.
that what the Lion King would have us to believe?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't do that.
No.
That's because they hunt some, but they mostly scavenge because it's way easier.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, if you think about the Lion King and the message that it gave us, it's like everybody belongs here because we're all, part of the circle of life. But then it's like, but those hyenas, they don't get it.
They acting up.
Yeah.
They acting up. We're trying to have a fucking society over here, and they're 24/7 retarded party people. That's what they were. They were Americans.
They were.
We were like they were following like a fucking evil leader.
Yeah.
Just like
let's do it.
taking over land.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that is no, I thought that was a pretty neat thing to learn.
Yeah.
You know? There's some bro animal knowledge.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. And the other thing was just like, I do want to get one of my Jack theories out here because I think we're replacing that other episode.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel so much more alive now.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I gotta do all the proper. I tried to fucking catch lightning in a bottle and not do all the proper stretches.
Oh.
I do want to. I gotta get over that. I gotta get over what it takes for me to get my body to where I want it and just accept that that's what it is. It's not gonna get less. I'm 40 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need to get warmed up for shit even more as I get older.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just accept that that's who I am. But again, I didn't bring this up. You didn't bring this up. The listener brought this up because they were like, well, since you're deleting that other episode, what did we possibly miss? And it's like, I don't even want to get into ancient advanced civilizations and ancient aliens, but like, I don't want to do that to the listener. It's like,
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's what every listener just said. People are in the car like, okay, Sidney, just fucking say it. Just say the thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I just want you to ponder this. That's all. I just want, this is like a thought experiment.
Yeah.
Right? Something to creatively exercise your brain.
Okay.
Now, we have, you're familiar with the idea of religions. Religions exist. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're familiar with ancient advanced civilization theory. If you're not, all it basically means is that there was an ancient advanced civilization and it was probably wiped out with the Great Flood, and that's why there really is no evidence of it, because it was a really chaotic flood. I think, you got to have an idea of what the magnitude of this flood would have been, enough to incinerate things or disintegrate things would be better, because I don't think the floods were creating fires. So they weren't that big.
Yeah, that'd be a big flood.
It'd be a big flood. But so again, you see it in some of the rock carvings and some of the things that did last, whatever that cataclysm was. There seems to have been an ancient advanced civilization that we lost record of.
Right.
Right? And, that's not necessarily scandalous. That's not scandalous information. Right? That's
Right.
That's accepted.
Okay.
Right? Okay, one of the other things there might have been is a time when humans were created by ancient advanced aliens. No big deal. Let's just deal with it. Let's just accept that.
Cloning's involved. In case you're wondering.
Yeah.
It's not two doll characters.
Yeah. yeah.
It's not Barbie and Ken.
Yeah, that is
just to clear that up.
Theory of that's how Ainsley thinks God made man. Just mushed genitals together. And now again, these Anunnaki, those are the aliens that potentially created human beings to be a slave race to mine minerals.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially, right? I mean, is that any more ridiculous than the theory of evolution? I mean, come on. Come on, that shit is absurd. We were monkeys once? Are you kidding me? Actually, we were. We were cloned from monkeys. That's how the ancient aliens did it. No, I'm not going to get into all the details, right?
Yeah.
But these religions that we have could be, if all of this stuff is true, they could be just like humans kind of hanging on to the memories of their creators, right? These people that created them, and that's why reincarnation, in like one of the oldest religions that exists, reincarnation probably comes from the fact that these super advanced aliens, when one of their slaves would die, they would just take that consciousness and then upload that into a new clone. That way they didn't have to keep training clones, or that way the learning curve only went up. Or how do learning curves work?
They don't just go up, they're curves.
They're curves. Yeah. But you know what I mean? That way the learning curve is always in favor of knowledge.
Yes.
Right? And then we held on to that as a belief of what happens in the afterlife. Like, not we, but Buddhists, but we as humans, like, held on to that technology because we didn't understand the technology that they were using.
Yeah.
To us, the advanced technology that they were using to do that, of course, was magic, or just reincarnation. Period. I don't know. It's just a theory. It's just something to work with.
I feel like you're disregarding our soul. Like, we're not computers to be programmed.
I mean, that's why we eventually rebelled and escaped and destroyed all the Stargates so that the aliens couldn't transport themselves back and forth from this planet to their planet. But, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, I just think that might be some of the left. Like, I mean, who knows? Again, it's a thought experiment, Ansley.
Okay.
We're just having thought experiment. We're just 24/7 retarded party people over here. Just have some fun. Just have some fun over here.
Okay.
And so here's the other theory. What was it? This was something interesting. How about how we have substituted the coming of age story with the superhero origin story?
Okay.
Because the coming of age story doesn't really exist anymore, especially in 2020 America, because you're not allowed to be a man. Like, celebrating manhood is so reviled right now. Mm-hmm. That's true. I'm not trying to debate with you. It's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So much so that, like, the superheroes now in movies, Wonder Woman 1984, her last final fight against the bad guy, she wasn't even fighting. She was just like pleading with him she just pleaded to stop the badness, and then the badness stopped.
Because there's goodness inside all of us.
Inside all women?
All of us.
And if we just listen to women, we'll be able to see that?
Yeah.
It's kind of what the message was. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Listen, we don't need your manly ways where you have war and you fight all the time.
Well, I mean, I think the way that we're changing the story, or the coming of age story still exists, but it's now the superhero origin story, even when it's not a superhero movie. So it's like these people, your life sucks so bad that you develop superpowers.
Yeah.
That's what people want to believe that their world is. Or it's just like, I was always special, instead of like I made myself special.
Yeah.
Like, the coming of age story is a story about a person that like makes themselves into what they become by the end of the movie, and you see that process. And then with the superhero origin story, or the way that this being transplanted, is that people are like, oh, it was always inside of me the whole entire time. People needed to just see it. You know, it's,
I feel like I've seen a lot of movies lately about superheroes that aren't great. They're like superheroes with powers, but they're all like, they've got all this baggage and like they've got to decide to be a good guy,
yeah.
which is like, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just,
I mean, that's
feel like
probably
I've seen that a
closer
lot.
to what it would be
Yeah.
if a person got powers.
Yeah.
Because, it's like you think about what happens when good people get money.
Mm.
It's like money changes you.
Yeah.
And, money's not even the ability to fly or shoot things with lasers out of your eyes.
Not even. Yeah.
It's like, good Lord. I mean, because if you had your choice between being able to shoot lasers out of your eyes with no physical consequences whatsoever,
Yeah.
or $20 million, what do you pick?
I don't really know what I'd do with all those lasers.
I tell you what I know for fact. I'm making at least $20 million with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got lasers that shoot out of your eyes. You tell me, like, somebody's not going to want to put that on TV or pay for that or at least, like, give me all your fucking money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the bank. Give me your money.
Yeah.
No, I'll open the vault. I'm good. It's, yeah. Yeah. I think this 24/7 retarded party is kind of winding down.
Gotta go find some rich dude's house to nap in.
Yeah? Yeah, well, that's not in this podcast, by the
Sorry.
way. We'll save that for the Patreon. We'll talk more about that. We'll get on the Patreon, tell you like the true history of Christmas. It's but yeah, let's get this one out of here. And let me get these shout outs going. Yeah, because this episode was heat.
Yeah.
This was a good
Good
time.
time.
This was a good time. It's shout out to Mike Butler, Mike Levy, Liz Bott, Doc, Kevin Stevens, Julian from Canada, Kevin Lau, Mary Jo, Julian from Canada, and his wife Meg.says.so, and her podcast So and Tell. She's a seamstress. She saved our faces during the pandemic.
Yes.
Kevin Lau, Mary Jo Butterly, Nicole, Raj, Janelle, Courtney, Coach Rick, Andrew Pace, Keith Bucks, Kyle Hancock, Erica Daniels, Levi Mercer, Justin Masabi, Ezekiel Ellis, Logan Ryan, Roger Downs, Joe Francis.
Lost your rhythm.
Yeah, did I forget Andrew Pace? No. Joe Francis and his girlfriend's company, Saved by the Wreath. Get all of your wreath needs taken care of by her. TJ James, our man down under, holding us down under. Nick Cupsey, he's in New Zealand. Nick Cupsey and his 2 books, Lost in the Mail, and the 5 People You Meet in Wawa. This old guy, Chris Bruno is not this old guy. Hold on. This old guy, still to remember who you are. Chris Bruno, Kevin McGran, Graham Hoffman, Chris Tucker, Derek Towson, who is my brother. We have different last names, and I promise I'll explain that one day. Sean Dowdy, Guy Patterson, Brian Bachner, Toscani Rodriguez, and our man, Sean, the Boner King, king of all boners.
If he got hung, he would be like,
oh, he's
boner,
got some fucking.
boner, fuck you.
Yeah, he's gonna have like an angry face and a boner at the same time. Just like an angry boner face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fuck yous and one of fuck yous to give. All right, man. This is a good time. You're currently listening to Melissa Bio Kingdom and her band Circadian Clock. Check her out on Spotify and her YouTube page, Beethoven Violin. Right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We're out.
Yeah. She got you.